Hello friends. Once upon a time, in a dense forest in India, there lived a clever jackal named Jambu. He was known throughout the forest for his wit and intelligence. One sunny afternoon, as Jambu wandered through the forest, he came across a big, lazy lion named Ranjan. Ranjan was dozing under a large banyan tree, his belly full from a recent hunt. Jambu, being always curious and alert, thought of a plan to befriend Ranjan, thinking it could be useful to have a lion as an ally. He approached the sleeping lion cautiously and said, "O mighty Ranjan, king of the forest, I bring news for you." Ranjan, half asleep, opened one eye and growled, "What news, little jackal? Can't you see I'm resting?" Jambu bowed respectfully and replied, "I apologize for disturbing you, but I have heard something that concerns your majesty. There is a rumor spreading through the forest that another lion has entered your territory and is challenging your rule." Ranjan's eyes snapped open, fully awake now. "What nonsense! Who dares challenge me?" Jambu continued, "I don't know the lion's name, but I heard he is fierce and powerful. He roams near the river and claims he will soon take over this forest." Ranjan, enraged by the thought of another lion challenging his supremacy, roared, "Show me this intruder, and I will teach him a lesson he will never forget." Jambu, hiding a sly smile, said, "Of course, your majesty. Follow me, and I will take you to him." The clever jackal led the lion through the forest, towards the river. As they reached the river bank, Jambu pointed to the water and said, "Look, there he is." Ranjan peered into the water and saw his own reflection. Being not the brightest, he mistook it for another lion. Furious, he roared at his reflection, which naturally roared back at him. Mistaking the reflection's roar as a challenge, Ranjan leapt into the river to attack. Of course, the moment he jumped in, the reflection disappeared. Ranjan found himself thrashing in the water, struggling to swim. He finally managed to crawl back to the bank, exhausted and humiliated. Jambu, who had been watching all this from a safe distance, approached cautiously. "O mighty Ranjan, it seems the intruder has fled in fear of your power. But he may return." "You must be vigilant," Jambu said, hiding his amusement. Ranjan, too tired to be angry, nodded. "You are right, Jambu. Thank you for warning me. You are wise and brave. From now on, you shall be my advisor." Jambu bowed and accepted the position, pleased that his plan had worked. From that day on, he stayed close to Ranjan, advising him and using the lion's strength to his advantage. With Jambu's cunning and Ranjan's might, they ruled the forest together, ensuring peace and order. However, Jambu never let his guard down. He knew that power could shift easily in the jungle, and he remained ever alert, using his wit to navigate the challenges of the forest. His friendship with Ranjan, based on a clever trick, became one of the strongest alliances in the animal kingdom. One day, a famine struck the forest. Food became scarce, and all the animals were worried about their survival. Ranjan and Jambu, too, faced the brunt of the famine. Ranjan, being the mighty lion, struggled more as his massive body needed more food to sustain itself. Jambu, always thinking ahead, came up with a plan. He approached Ranjan and said, "Your Majesty, I have an idea that could help us find food. There is a small village near the edge of the forest. The villagers there often leave their food outside. If we can scare them just a little, they might leave more food out of fear. Ranjan, desperate and hungry, agreed. That night, the two friends sneaked to the edge of the forest, where the village lay. Jambu instructed Ranjan to roar loudly, ensuring that the villagers would hear. The mighty lion did as he was told, and his deafening roars echoed through the village. The villagers, terrified of the sound of a lion so close to their homes, decided to leave more food outside, hoping it would appease the beast and keep them safe. Jambu and Ranjan feasted on the offerings, their hunger sated for the time being. Days turned into weeks, and the famine persisted. The villagers continued to leave food, and Ranjan and Jambu continued to collect it. However, one night, a clever old man from the village decided to investigate. He hid behind a tree, waiting to see who was taking the food. When he saw the lion and the jackal, he quickly realized what was happening. The next day, he called a meeting of the villagers and said, "Friends, we have been feeding the lion and the jackal all this while. They are clever, but we must be cleverer. Tonight, we will leave a trap instead of food." That night, as usual, Ranjan and Jambu approached the village. But instead of food, they found a large net hidden under leaves. As soon as they stepped on it, the net sprung up, trapping them both. The villagers, armed with torches and sticks, came out and surrounded them. Jambu, quick to think on his feet, said loudly, "O great villagers, we mean you no harm. We only came because the famine has left us desperate. Please, show mercy and let us go. We will leave and never return." The old man, recognizing Jambu's intelligence, said, "We will release you, but remember, if you ever come back, we won't be so kind." Jambu and Ranjan were freed, and they returned to the forest. From that day on, they stayed away from the village, respecting the villagers' warning. The famine eventually ended, and life in the forest returned to normal. Jambu and Ranjan continued to rule the forest wisely, their bond stronger than ever. They had learned valuable lessons about cunning, survival, and respect, ensuring peace and harmony in their kingdom for years to come. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.